Hey, Jolena, how are you doing, dear? All right. Exactly. That's the spirit. Let's get ready to win some more grants. So this is the one that we did a while back, actually. Um, I want to say when we first started the six-figure funding challenge. This was the one that was like that long application that we had to do in two parts because it was like hella long. So we're going to split it up again today, too. All right. So I'm just waiting for a couple more people to pull up, and then we're going to get started. All right. All right. So here's the deal, right? Transform Business Grant. This grant opportunity is a little bit different than the other ones that we've done before. This one, they want you to, we're going to read the instructions, but per usual, how we're going to set this up is we are going to open up a Word document and we're going to save our answers, right? We're going to save the question, save the answers. Matter of fact, this one is kind of easy because if you go to transformgrant.org, before there's a fillable PDF, you can just save this application as a PDF, right? Like go to print and then save as PDF so that you don't have to do all the extra steps, right? So there's that. What else? So save your answers, that's for sure. And then per usual, we'll go through the grant application, see what the requirements are, if there are any, and then go from there. So this one, it says, they're talking about who they are, all right? So Transform is an actively anti-capitalist and anti-racist, and anti-racist, continually working to identify and dismantle oppressive systems of power. Funding shouldn't be the reason you sacrifice your business idea or your professional development, okay? We offer growth-focused micro grants up to $1,000 to social impact-focused individuals looking to grow their own business or business acumen. In addition to funding, grantees are provided a customized year-long growth-based program, which includes access to pro bono services from a roster of experts in branding, coaching, skill-based learning, marketing, website development, blogging, and more. So it's a micro grant. That's first and foremost. So keywords that I'm going to pull out of this this little description. This little description is anti-capitalist, anti-racist. So there's going to be a focus on just making sure that you are talking about those themes as well as social impact, right? So those are going to be things that they care about. All right. What else? They also have a link to their purpose, vision, and values. I would say, that you should read those because if you're going to frame any of your answers, I would frame it along the lines of what some of those purposes, visions, and values are if you are aligned with those things, okay? For example, they are serving individuals who are systemically oppressed or part of systemically oppressed groups, which include BIPOC people, right? So if that is a value of yours, you align. And I would mention that. All right. So let's see some of these other requirements. Okay, only open to applicants in the United States. Individuals and teams / groups are welcome to apply. So, excuse me, even if you don't have employees or anything like that and you're just a solopreneur, you are welcome to apply. All right. So they're saying we're not going to ask for bank statements and you don't have to show any proof of your struggles. All right. What else? We trust that you will share. All right. It says, okay, so one thing that they are saying is that business or business ideas must align with transform values. So do yourself a favor if you really care about winning, or at least standing out in this application process in any regard, go back and read their values. All right. Read the link to their values and understand what those values are, including centering anti-racism and anti-capitalism and how your business operates, and then the impact you are making in your community or the world. All right. So they mentioned those things. So I would definitely mention them as well, especially if your business does have that element or if you are affected by that because you are a minority person. Okay. So with that being said, let's start the actual grant application. So it says completed applications or questions can be sent to, and then they have an email address where it could be sent to, or they have an email address where it could be sent to. So that's where you're going to send the email or the application or the mailing address where you're going to send it. So first thing they're going to ask you is your name. You got that. Pronouns. So what you prefer to be addressed as, like she, her, they, them. How should we address you? They have another question about that. Your email, preferably, is going to be the email that is tied to your business handle. So you don't want to put your email address that is like a Gmail, a Yahoo, or AOL. Preferably, you want to put an email address that is tied to your business name. So like info at whatever your business name is. Okay. Phone number. You also want to use a phone number that is also tied to your business as well. Mailing address, same deal. All right. Use your business mailing address if at all possible. Business name is going to be the name that you use when you incorporated, not like a DBA or something else that you use to identify your own business. All right. And then there's another question about whether you're applying as an individual or as a team. And they're asking for a website. Next, they're going to ask you about your social media handles. And this is cool because I've said this in every single live. If you're going to put your social media handles here, just make sure that they're not like the social media handles are not anything that are misaligned with your business. Always make sure that they're things that are aligned with your business. So your personal and your business pages shouldn't be intermingled. They should be pages that are separate, and your business should be strictly your business. But if they aren't, I would recommend just putting LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is just perceived as more professional. All right. What else? Okay, so it says we want to learn about you. The more specific you are in your answers, the better we can understand your project. There's no word limit. Please use the space you need to share your vision and story. The below our scrolling text box. Your text will not be cut off if you need more space. All right. Is everybody ready to start? So we're working through the grant application above my head. This is the grant application. We're formatting our answers. Okay, so let me know who's ready to start so we can go ahead and get started. I'm not sure I understand the question. Is it general application step? I'm not sure what you mean. I just got a call. What part are we on? So I was just about to get started where it's asking all about you. I just wanted to know if anybody was ready to get started. Okay, got you. Bet. So first thing is to tell us about yourself, right? What are your identity factors? So this is going to be mostly about how you identify and how you present in the world. Hold on a second. Yes, baby. Yes? You want help? Yes. Okay. There you go. Yeah, so this is mostly going to be about how you present in the world, all right? Now, I've told you guys in the past that if you're going to answer questions about yourself and any questions about like identity or sexuality, especially if it has to do with like or gender identity, always find a way to tie it back into your business because they're asking these questions and it's great that they want to know, but they really don't care about you too much. All right. I know that sounds pretty harsh, but it's true. Always create a tie into your business, create a bridge to your business. What is it about your identity that helps you run your business more efficiently? What are some challenges that you face as a person that identifies in that regard, right? So for us, I'm gonna say us. There might be some other intersections, but a lot of the people that come on this live are Black women, right? We identify as Black and we identify as women. Okay, so when they're asking you to tell us about yourself, you're going to talk about your identity. You're going to talk about Blackness. You're going to talk about your womanness, and the tie into the business could be how your identity has influenced your decision to go into business, how your identity impacts your business, how your identity has been a detriment to your business, right? Or maybe it influenced your decision because you realized how important it is to be a Black woman in that space, okay? Always tie it back into some factor for your business or business in general, okay? Or matter of fact, you could talk about how it's important for you to hire, or the market opportunity that you saw could create more opportunity for people that look like you or present as you, right? So always tie back in, okay? If you're applying, the second question is, if you're applying on behalf of a team, please tell us about the identity factors of the members of your team. So you could talk about the percentages. I would probably go ahead and break it down as far as percentages are concerned. So let's say like you had a team of 4. So each person would get 25%. So you could say 20, if 2 of the 4 are women, then you would say 50% of the team are women. You could say if 3 are Black and 1 is Latino, then you could say 75% and 25. So I would talk about the demographics of the group or the team. And then I would also, because there's no word count, I would talk about the importance of why you were intentional, because we should be intentional about who we decide to work with, right? Why we were intentional about working with this particular group, all right? Not just because of their ability to get the job done. Yes, they're qualified. They have a skill set that was able to meet the job. That's the obvious part. You're not going to hire somebody who does not meet the qualification. Yes. But how has that helped the community in a way? Is there a net impact for being able to hire a member of that group? All right. So you can talk about it from that regard. So number 3 is, that's weird. The application's like cutting off on me. Okay. There we go. So number 3 is, how does your identity influence your worldview and how you approach your business? Okay. So Maybe now you can expand on that a little. So expand on number one a little bit about how your identity influences your worldview, right? Maybe your worldview is that, you know what? I had a client actually recently, which is, I'm glad this actually happened because this will help. She actually is a real estate client. And one of the things that she does in her business is that she does not do client-facing work. She hires someone who is a white person to do the work for her, a lot of the client-facing work for her, because she does not believe, this is her worldview, her belief, okay, how she views the world, especially as it relates to business. She does not believe, hey, AJ, how are you? She does not believe that people of her hue, right, even of her gender, will be welcomed in that space. So she hired someone who is more likely to exist in that space, that real estate space, make those kind of purchases, and the creative financing options that she's exploring, in order to leverage the opportunities that she wants to leverage. Okay, so that's her worldview, that she's not going to be accepted. And her approach to that worldview is not doing the client-facing work and hiring someone else. Now, is she still meeting her objectives? Absolutely. However, she's had to kind of like navigate it in a way that's allowed her to acquiesce her worldview, but then also meet her objectives differently. So if there's anything like that in your business, I'm not saying it necessarily has to be something that's kind of like that negative, seemingly negative, but if there's something in your business that kind of impacts how you approach your business because of anti-racism or anti-capitalism, which is what they want to know about, I would mention that. All right? Do we get that? Okay, so what do you love about yourself? What makes you you? So again, not really you. They don't really want to know about you guys. All right, I hate to say it, but they don't. When you're talking about what you love about yourself and what makes you you, you want to talk about it from a standpoint of a quality that helps you be an entrepreneur, and you want to always tie it back into your business. All right, what do you love about yourself? Your determination, your persistence, your tenacity. Those are things that you love about yourself. And you know why you love them about yourself? Because those are skills that you need to be an entrepreneur, right? What makes you you? Your determination. What makes you you? Your support system, your ability to see opportunities. If you're an entrepreneur, you understand that you don't sell products, you sell solutions, right? So in order for you to sell a solution, you have to realize that there's a problem in the first place. So with that being said, we talk about ourselves from that standpoint. This is an opportunity to really big yourself up, right? Talk about your high level skills. And these are hard. These could be, I would actually go ahead and pick a hard skill and a soft skill. I wouldn't just talk about, just the hard skills. Pick a soft skill too. Maybe you're empathetic. That is a great skill. You being empathetic is a great marketing skill. It's transferable because you having a deep understanding of humans and people will allow you to communicate that message to them even better, right? So think about some soft skills. If you're not sure, I'm sorry, excuse me. You're welcome. If you're not sure, it's okay, mama. If you're not sure, Google it. And I really mean that. Like, go to google.com and say, what are hard skills for entrepreneurs? What are soft skills for entrepreneurs? Pick down the list and see what you identify with. And then expound on that, okay? And go from there. And I really mean, like, Google it, for real. All right, okay, your business idea. So we're on this section where it says your business idea. But before we go into that section, all right, I'm going to go back real quick because this fillable PDF is giving me a little bit of pushback. So I'm going to open the Word doc and reference the Word document. But before we move on to your business idea, does anybody have any questions about questions 1, 2, 3, or 4. And no, it says no word limit. Nope. It says use up all the space. They literally encourage you to talk about yourself until you have no room left to talk about yourself. All right. So anybody have any questions about 1, 2, 3, or 4? And I just kind of want to, I'm going to create a working list because I keep forgetting things, but I want you guys to ask me questions about formatting the answers. Don't ask me questions about your business because I don't know. There's too many factors that go into your business or your niche or your industry, your market, that I don't have context for. I don't know where you live. I don't know what you do. I don't know who you serve. I don't know what your projections are. I don't know any of those things, right? I can do that for certain people if you have like a pretty broad business. Or I can do that for certain people who I'm like Jolena, who I interact with and I have a deep understanding of her business because I work with her. But ask me about the formatting if you're not sure, okay? Because I feel like last live got kind of tricky. That's why I'm saying that. And how do we differentiate our answer in 1 and 3? I feel like mine are the same. Okay, good question. All right. So 1 is asking about your identity. And 3 is asking about how your identity influences how you approach your business, right? So I think you can really stop with your identity as far as like, you know what? No, let me not even sit here and try to rack my brain. Let's just Google it. What are identity factors? Right? So identity factors are society, family, friends, ethnicity, culture, location, media, interest, self-expression, and life experiences. Right? So those are the things that shape your identity. I still argue that you should talk about it from a business standpoint. So if you're going to talk about it from a business standpoint, you could say that what your identity factors are society, and then talk about it from the societal business standpoint. You could talk about it from the business family standpoint. If you come from a family that comes from a long line of business owners, right? You could talk about it from that standpoint. If you are from from me, whenever I'm asked about culture, I always mention my relationship to Haiti and how it was the first Black republic, right? Which is important to me because it helps with the idea of like resilience and liberation and things like that, which are permeable across business sectors, which are permeable across skills that you need to be a business owner, right? So things like that, if that makes sense, Jolena. So those are the factors, okay? Location could be a factor too. Now that we're looking at this, it kind of gives you a wider lens, right? So thank you for asking, Jolena. Location might be a factor for your identity because, for example, me being a New Yorker being born and raised in New York. Let me say that. I'm no longer a New Yorker. I don't live there anymore. But me being born and raised in New York definitely has an influence over how I approach the world, or largely has an influence on my identity versus if I was born in the South, right? I lived a long time in the South through high school, and I could tell the difference between those two places. It's night and day. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint, especially as it relates to your business, there's a lot of different ways that you can approach this. You could talk about it from different standpoints. Talk about society, talk about your interest. You could talk about your interest, right? For sure. Because if your interests are tied to your business, your answer could definitely be 400 words right there, right? So that's one thing. If your business is a function of your self-expression, that's another thing. If you're an artist or you're creative in some way, and that's part of your identity factor, then you can tie that into your business rather easily, and or life experiences too. All right. Let me know if that makes sense because we just kind of went down a little bit of a rabbit hole. Yeah. All right. So now, your business idea. What is your business or business idea? What does your business do? Share a summary of your business or business plan, okay? So if you have a business plan already, you can just pull from your executive summary, okay? If you do not, then I just want you to understand that when we talk about what our business does, we don't talk about it from the framework of what products we sell or like technically who we serve. When I say technically, I mean like I don't want you guys to break it down like, oh, our clients are 34 to 64 and they're Black or whatever. I want you to frame your mind around talking about the problems that you're solving and for whom, okay? So if you are a marketing company, and I'm going to use this example over and over again because it's just easy. If you're a marketing company, you sell visibility. You help companies become visible. You help churches become visible, right? Because those people are trying to reach other people, all right? They're trying to get attention. They're trying to get eyeballs on them, okay? So we don't sell Facebook ads. We sell visibility. We don't sell lashes. We sell beauty and confidence. We don't sell what? We don't sell computers. We sell access. Okay? We don't sell social media. We sell community, right? So think about it that way. What is the end goal or outcome that your user experiences? What problems are you solving for them? And that's kind of how you're going to frame those answers. Does that make sense? And I feel like people have a kind of struggle with that one a little bit. But if you can kind of capture that, you will have a lot of a easier time navigating these applications than if you just talk about the products that you sell. Because anybody can sell a product. I literally go through, like, in the six-figure funding training class, I've done it 4 different times on, like, within this, while I've been on TikTok. I just come up with a fake company because you can sell anything, right? You can do market research for anything. But even within that framework, what problem are you solving and for who? All right? And why you on top of that? All right? Does that make sense? And does anybody need any clarity on that, please? I need you guys' feedback. I need somebody talking to me so I'm not talking to myself on this live. Okay. All right. Jolena. Okay, good. All right. So Jolena, help me understand where you might not have it, because I think we've been working on this for a while. I feel like you, of all people, have it the most down pat, but I could be wrong. Fashion designer Marissa Dawson, you could say that you're rebuilding. All right. So, number 2 is if you're a returning applicant, you've applied for a grant. So they're just asking if there's anything that you want them to notice between the last application and this one. But I'm assuming a lot of us are doing this for the first time. So if there is anything that you've done in the past and you have done this before, just point it out to them. And then number 3 is how long have you been in business or developing this idea? What was the impetus for starting this business? Okay. So this is a good place to kind of write a story, like kind of storyboard how you got started in this business, all right? How you got introduced to the problem that you're solving, okay? And then this is the framework that I've used. Actually, I used to give this speech a lot, but I shelved it for a while. So it was problem, ? Solve it, period, then, or comma, then profit, okay? So what was the impetus? What was a problem that you either saw, experienced, or it could be an opportunity, right? What opportunity did you see? Or what problem did you experience?
Okay. The red big boat.
Red big boat?
The red boat.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. So what problem did you solve, right? So, for example, let's say let's say someone had, let's say someone, I'm going to use my dad as an example, right? So my dad had like really bad renal issues, okay, before he passed. That was a problem that a lot of people in the country have, okay? And the reason why you want to know how big this problem is because you're going to have to quantify how much of that problem you're able to solve at some point, right? It's called your market share, right? And then your total addressable market at some point. Okay? So this is the impetus. What started this? So if I was trying to solve this renal issue or healing this renal issue for my father, I would talk about the story. I wouldn't just talk about him because, again, they don't care about your life. They don't care about you. I would talk about the issue that he experienced, how personal they were to me, how he passed, and I couldn't solve it for him. So I would give that timeline because they're asking you, how long have you been in business or developing this idea, right? So now this paints a timeline and then kind of gives an example or a storyline or storyboard of how I got into this business, if this was the business that I was starting. All right? Does that make sense? Okay. So I don't know how to say your name, but if you say I'm selling healthcare workers shortage solutions, I'm not sure what you mean by shortage solutions. Are you saying that the organizations that are looking for healthcare workers, you are filling those needs for them? Okay, so that's interesting because there's a couple ways that you can approach that. What's the biggest issue that the healthcare industry experiences with not being able to keep an employee? Or what's the biggest cause of the shortage? Because once you know what causes that shortage, right, that's what you're actually filling. So if the cause of the shortage is high turnover, then what you're actually servicing is the high turnover. If that makes sense. I hope that clears that up. So if I'm introducing myself, think of it this way, right? Think about what you would want your headline to read, right? Hi, my name is Natalie, and I sell, okay. So, hi, my name is Natalie. I sell healthcare worker shortage solutions versus, hi, my name is Natalie, and I help organizations reduce reduce the number of, no, even better. Hi, my name is Natalie, and I help organizations lower the number of days they're short staffed due to high turnover. You got to know what that reason is, right? You got to really know what's causing it to really get to them, to really address the issue that they're having. So that when you're telling people what you do, that's what you do. You help businesses shorten the amount of time that they have short staff, that their amount of weeks that they spend short staffed, or hire top talent, right? So that their turnover rate is not as high. I don't really know what you do, so I'm just kind of speculating. But kind of the frame how you're framing it needs to align with the problem that they're having. And they could be okay. I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I would need a lot more context, but I hope the framework helps. Okay. So number 3. All right. So number 4. What problem does your project solve? Of course. And what need does it fill? All right. So for example, if you have so think about what objective you are meeting for your end user. Do you save? Is there a way for your consumer to save time? I skipped the last question. Should we just answer with one sentence starting with
Mommy.
It's my first time? It could be, yeah. You could state that it's your first time. Yes, I do. Spooder man. However, I only do it for businesses that I work with. All right.
Yes.
So for the last question, how long have you been in business or developing this idea? If this is your first time doing this, that's fine. You still should share why you started doing it, okay? Because that's also the other part of that's the other part of the question. All right? How long have you been in business? You could have been in business 2 months. Oh, number 2? I would just put non-applicable. Yeah, if I was going to answer number 2, I'll just put non-applicable. All right. So that's that. So then number 4, sorry guys, I backtracked a little bit. Number 4, what need does it fill? What problem does your project solve? Or what need does it fill? Think about what your consumer experiences or what they get as a result of working with you or engaging with your product. All right. That's the most important thing. Do they get to save money? Do they get to save time in some way? Are they working something out more efficiently? What need are they having that you are filling for them? Right? So for example, for the other person that was speaking higher up about the employee, I forgot what it was. I'm sorry. The shortage solution, right? What need, you have to figure out what they need first before you can really decide what you're selling for them, what you're selling to them, or what problem you're solving for them, which is kind of like, I'm reiterating this again, but you need to know what they need. For example, when I hired an assistant, what I needed was someone who was going to be super organized and get me organized. If someone was trying to market themselves as someone who just wanted to do calendar management, that person wasn't going to fit my needs. Or when I was looking through all the applicants, what I was looking for someone is for someone who had a lot of detail oriented, answered all my questions in the application, who spoke about how detail oriented they were. You know what I mean? So those were the things that I was looking for, because my problem was organization. That was the need that person had to fill. Okay, so think about your product in that sense. What problem is your product solving? Okay. And then what need for whom, the person who's using it, when they experience your product, what are they no longer experiencing because they have your product? Okay. So number 5 is asking, is anyone else doing this? If so, how are you doing this differently? Okay. So number 5, how are you doing this? Is anyone else doing this? So this is a great opportunity, if you've done the work and the research, to talk about your direct competitors and your indirect competitors. I'm sorry, 1 second. Come where I can see you, please.
No.
Yes. So direct competitors and indirect competitors. Your direct competitors are going to be people who, point for point, get as close to you and your offering as possible, okay? Your indirect competitors are going to be where people go when they can't experience you. All right. So we give the example of a nail salon. So a nail salon is me. If I own a nail salon and then I have another nail salon down the street from me, it doesn't matter if they provide the same services. It doesn't matter if they can do designs. It doesn't matter what, right? They're down the street. We're competitors. We're trying to grab attention either way, right? Now, the indirect competitor would be Amazon. Can anyone tell me why Amazon would be our indirect competitor if I own a nail salon?
Here we go, it's blue.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. Because if I'm closed, or even CVS, Walgreens, whoever, right? Wherever my consumer, my end user can go when I'm not open and I'm not around, and they can get it done themselves, and they can still meet their objectives of having their nails done, is an indirect competitor to me. It doesn't have to be locational. It doesn't have to be a nail salon. They have everything to compensate for what I provide. Exactly. Because people can buy nail products on there. DIY, all great answers. Exactly. So think about the person who comes close, but also does not have exactly what you have, but can still feel the need for your end user if you don't exist. All right. So those are the two people you want to talk about. All right. And if so, what are you doing differently? And how are you doing this differently? This being whatever problem you're solving. You can approach it two ways, right? You can talk about your gained competitive advantage. All right. Or you can do something called a SWOT analysis. And a SWOT analysis stands for S is for strength, W is for weakness, O is for opportunity, and T is for threat, okay? In each of those sections, you're going to break down for all three of you, your direct competitor, your indirect competitor, and yourself, all of your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. All right? You're going to talk about all those things. Because when you break those things down, it shows a comparison. It does a side-by-side comparison of what your strengths are versus their strengths, your weaknesses versus their weaknesses, and how you do things differently than they do, okay? If you are interested in working with me, you can go to the link in my bio. There's a form in there, and you can fill out that form. All right, it's all the way at the bottom. Okay, so also, this would be a really good opportunity to talk about your value proposition, okay? And your value proposition is going to be things that, and I'm not trying to be redundant, but things that you quite literally do different, right? So let's say you have a direct competitor. I'm the nail salon and you're talking to your direct competitor. Your direct competitor is going to be maybe older, maybe they cater to, maybe they have like traditional nail setup or whatever the case may be. They still use an acrylic. They don't even have like the nail dip stuff yet, or like the gel overlay. So what you're doing differently is that you have maybe a more aesthetic, like Instagram, like aesthetic flower wall or something where people can come and take pictures, or you have a more engaging customer experience. Maybe when someone comes in, they come in and they give you a glass of wine or champagne or something. And then you ask them, they have like a menu where you like can scroll down to see what color you want. Like you can put it in order before you sit down. Like it's just a more engaging user experience. Like what are you doing that sets you apart from someone going down the street versus them coming to you? Okay? It could be quite literally that. If you don't want to go into all the gain competitive advantage or the SWOT analysis. Mama.
Yes.
The singing? Not right now. Okay, baby? We sing later, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay. Sorry, the emergency was that I had to go pick her up from school because she was throwing up. So yeah, there's that. Now she's home singing. All right, so I feel like I feel like I've drawn out as much as I can out of this answer. There's really a lot of different ways that you can approach this, but really be intentional about talking about your competitors, who they are, and how you guys differ. All right? It really it comes down to that. Any questions on that before we move on? Every time. I promise you, once we get off this live, she's going to fall asleep. Why can't you be asleep right now? All right. So, any other questions, guys, before we move on? Okay, so AJ said no. I'm about to go with AJ's no. All right. All right. So number 6, what are the purpose, vision, and values of your business? Because this is your. That's funny. So what are the purpose, vision, and values of your business or idea? All right. So they're asking 3 individual questions here. All right. Purpose, vision, and values. Tell us why you do what you do. Please elaborate on your organization's values and why these are intrinsically important to the work that you do. All right. Purpose. So I'm going to give you an example of purpose. All right. So for example, one of the companies that I work with, and she's given me permission to share this, so I'm not sharing anything that's confidential. Okay. Her purpose is to be able to provide housing to mothers who are in like the liminal spaces. So for example, she has a bunch of different units. She takes buildings, converts them, and brings them into, puts mothers in there who might have like been displaced from work or no longer have some kind of secure housing. All right. Now for her purpose was because her mother experienced that. And had it not been for an organization like that existed, she truly believes, she really believes that her life would have taken a completely different trajectory. All right. Now, when she decided that she wanted to get into real estate, she could have gone into so many different areas. She could have been an investor. She could have gone into commercial real estate. She could have been a flipper. She could have been God knows what, right? There's so many different options. But that's the route that she wanted to go to, and that's the reason why, because she believed that.
It's yours.
Yes, it's mine, Mama. Okay. Could you go play with your toys, please?
No.
Oh, of course not. Okay. So she believed that it was her purpose to not only experience that, but have the skill set and means to be able to reproduce it. Okay? That is her story. Who am I to tell her no? I don't tell her no, but who am I, right? Who's anyone to tell her otherwise? Now, her vision is to be able to take her and vision, and I'm going to explain it, and then I'm going to give the example of vision. Now, her vision and your vision is the biggest goal that you have for your business ever. Like the furthest that you could ever see your business existing, right? The largest amount of people that you could ever serve. The widest and farthest you could ever reach. That is your vision. So for her vision is to be able to communicate with, to link up with organizations across the country, right? This is a big country, across the country, to provide housing for single mothers or mothers that are in between, all right? Baked in these programs into the community. That's her objective. And her values your values are going to be different things that help you move that needle, right? So the organizations that you align yourself with, the programs that you offer, what else? It could even be down to the names, the community, and the social impacts that you decide to make. Those are how you're going to express those values, all right? Any questions on that? And I feel like I addressed the question, why are these intrinsically important to you in your work, when I gave her example. I'm new here and I want to apply for business grants. Hi, Kofi. Welcome. Hang around, buddy. Just hang out. You'll get plenty of insight. We are doing this grant right here. You can pull it up, transformgrants.org. And we're already on part your business ideas and number 6. Okay. If you want to follow on IG, I post a schedule of the grants that we're doing and when. All right. Actually, we might be able to do this one today. We might be able to finish this one today for real. All right. Are we good with number 6?
No.
Let me see.
What are you doing?
Are we good with number 6, y'all? Maybe? No? Okay. I'm going to assume we're good because we got to move on. All right. So number 7, tell us about the social impact of your business idea. Does it challenge systems of oppression? How is it making the world a better place? All right. So here's 2 things that you can do to address this question. 1, you can do something called theories of change for business. Okay. Don't just Google theories of change, because if you do that, a lot of different things are going to come up. It's a theories of change for business. That framework will show you how to walk through talking about the impact of your business. It could be a product too. It doesn't have to just be a service. How your product has a net impact across the spectrum. All right. So when someone uses your product, it has an impact on the community. It has an impact on it could go up to government. All right. There's a net impact all across the board. All right. When someone's life is improved, how that improves someone else's life, how that improves the community, how that improves the economy, how that improves something else for someone else by engaging with your product. Okay.
Help me, Mommy.
How am I helping you?
Look.
Oh, I see. I see what you did.
Help me.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you. Hold on. And then we're not gonna do that again, okay? You understand? Here.
Hey, Mommy.
Thank you. Put it back. All right.
No.
So, does that make sense for everybody? So, for example, let's say if I have an organization and my business and my social impact or my idea helps to improve. Matter of fact, no, one of the classes that I teach helps to improve consumers' credit, right? Them being able to improve their credit means that they have access, they're lowering their debt, so they have access to what's called discretionary income so that they can use to now do other things out in the world, all right? So they're fueling the economy. I can argue that, all right? There's actually statistics to support that too. They're fueling the economy. They have less anxiety. They have less financial anxiety when they have less debt. All right. This is the net impact. All right. They have less anxiety. They have less financial trauma, less financial anxiety.
Me. It's yours.
They have more money to invest. Okay, so they're increasing the possibility of increasing their wealth. They have more money to play around with and do other things with. So they're improving the overall quality of their lives. All right, so that would be how the theories of change would work. It's not just after the consumer makes that purchase with me, they've made the purchase and it's over. How are they going to continue to improve their lives after that purchase is made? What is the total impact? Does that make sense? Here, Mama.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Here, go draw. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So, I think we're going to stop here. All right. So tomorrow I'm going to kind of just highlight the question where we left off. So tomorrow we have 8, 9, 10, 11 for your business or your business idea. Then we have all the questions about financial support. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then grantee mentorship. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the application's over. So we should be done fairly easily tomorrow. The financial questions typically are a little bit longer because there's how we answer those questions typically are more detailed, but we should be done a lot sooner than we did today. All right. Tomorrow, actually 12 o'clock. Right. And my apologies about today again. Unforeseen circumstance. Literally, as soon as I posted about the time, I got a call from her school telling me to come get her. So had to. Just a couple of announcements before we leave. If you haven't already, today is July 17. This Thursday, we're having a training for the government grant for nonprofits. All right. Thank you, baby. So we're having a government grant training. That is a free training. All right. Today, the government grant funding training just opened. The link is in my bio for both of those. The one that says nonprofit novice and then the one that says demystifying government grants. Okay. So if you have not signed up for either one of those, go ahead and grab your spot. The demystifying government grants are only 20 spots available. The nonprofit one, the reason why the demystifying government grant one is so limited is because we're going to be actively working through an RFP, which is a request for proposal, and we're going to get feedback on our proposals. So there can't be too many people because it'd take forever. So only 20 people. The first one, it says nonprofit, but even if you don't have a nonprofit, you should familiarize yourself with the vernacular, the jargon, the RFPs. It's going to be a great introduction. Get resources to that government world in general because there's a lot going on that side. So all the things government, just join. Okay, let me warn you now. Just join. What else can I tell you? What else was there? Yeah, that's about it. Those are the 2 things that are coming up right now. Tomorrow we'll finish this application, so I'll see you at noon. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay. And then also, yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions, you're free to DM or email me. There's also a link. Well, in that same link area, there's a fillable form where you can make a request and go from there. All right. So I will see you guys tomorrow to finish this application. All right. Y'all be good and God bless.